I'm back. You're still tuned in to Market View. This is the Tuesday edition. Thank you for staying with us. Misconduct in the real estate industry will rake up to 250,000 Malangeni once the Real Estate Agents Bill of 2023 has been passed into law. The Director of Housing and Human Settlement, Peggy Temba Matsibula, shared this during an interview with business journalist Nilsi Ngamandla, where he detailed the contents of the bill. Let's take a listen.
Thank you, Director, for taking time to be with us on the show. We've been speaking to real estate businesses, and they are complaining that there is a bill that is supposed to guide the way they work, but the bill hasn't seen the light of the day. So we came to you just to find out at what stage is the bill now.
Thanks for the opportunity that we clarify on the importance of the real estate agency bill. In as far as we are concerned from the Minister's point of view, right now we're almost at the end of the process because we have been working with the Attorney General's office, who are drafting the bill on our behalf. So right now we are almost at the end. We have a pre-final document right now, which will thereafter be presented to Cabinet for consideration. Once it is approved at Cabinet level, then it will go down to Parliament for piloting purposes.
From my understanding, Director, you started working on this bill in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Why is it taking this long to pass it into law?
A bill really, it has quite a number of processes that go into place. We are assisted again by the Attorney General's office. So you find that maybe depending on the number of drafters that they have, sometimes you find that they have quite maybe a few drafters working on a number of bills. And it is not only the Minister of Housing that is having a bill maybe before the Attorney General's office. You find that quite a number of ministries and departments, they have a number of bills that the Attorney General's office is working on. In particular, we have to remember that a number of ministries are working or reviewing their pieces of legislation to be in line with the country's constitution, which was passed in 2005. So you find that there is a pressure not only on us, even maybe on the part of the Office of the Attorney General, in terms of maybe the numbers of the people that have to work on the bills.
Before we move any further, Director, briefly highlight to us the contents of the bill. What is it that you are reviewing now as a ministry?
Okay, the bill, in terms of what it is trying to address per se, is to provide for the regulation of the practice of real estate agents in the country. We know right now that they are not regulated the way they do things. You find that some they work from their car booths, some they do not even have offices and all that. So basically, that is what it is trying to address. And secondly, is to provide for the monitoring of trust accounts that we want maybe estate agents to have maybe trust accounts, so that we know that in the event that transactions that will be carried out, those monies are not lost out somewhere. Instead, they have to be put into a trust account so that the beneficiaries and everybody who's participating maybe in that process can eventually benefit from the whole process.
Well said, Director. Another issue that is a thorn for real estate businesses is that conveyancers now double up as real estate agents. What does this bill say about that? Is it even allowed?
Yes, the bill, among other things, we want to register everybody who calls him or herself a real estate agent. So that is even by qualification. We also have prescribed qualifications for whom we can call a real estate agent in the country. So conveyancers, they have their role. But their role, in as far as we are concerned as a ministry, is that they are involved in the transfer of properties from one person to another. The conveyancers, by nature, they are they are lawyers. It's just that they are kind of lawyers that work on the registration of properties. Whereas, in as far as we are concerned, when we are talking about real estate agents, it has to be someone who has a diploma or a degree in real estate agents or land management and some other related fields. By practice, they're not supposed to act as real estate agents. They're just involved in the transfer of land parcels or properties from one person to another.
I love talking about fines, Director, because I believe that they have the potential to stop people on their tracks if they want to go against the law. What does this bill say about fines? Does it talk about how much people will be fined if they go against the law?
One of the fines, for instance, it relates to dual representation, whereby you'll find that the real estate agent will will approach one person, and then as they approach that person, you find that then there is what we call a dual representation, in the sense that they'll be selling a property to one person, and then when another person comes up, you find that then that like some double standards of some sort. So according to Section 20 of the proposed bill, is to the effect that any person who contravenes paragraph 1, which is the one on dual representation, shall be guilty of an offense and shall be liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 60,000 or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 12 months or to both. So that's one of the fines, but there are quite a number of them that are provided throughout the bill. Okay, there's another one on discipline. If the board finds a real estate agent in breach of professional conduct, it may do any one or more of the following. It can order the estate agent to pay a disciplinary fine not exceeding 250,000 emalangeni. So yeah, in the event that there is some discipline that has to be meted and all the like. So those are some of all the fines that we do have here.
Kevagala, Director, fully understanding that the ministry is doing all it can to ensure that the bill is passed into a law, what should Eswatini do in case they face challenges as they deal with the real estate industry?
Okay. I think to real estate agents operating in the country, we would like them to be very much responsible, maybe in the way they conduct their business. It has to be an honest kind of business for now. And we have really taken into account maybe some of the complaints from members of the public and all the like. That's why then the ministry then had to step up to come up with a bill that will then regulate the industry, because right now it is not regulated. But to members of the public, right now, the only forum that is very much can be helpful to them is to report these cases. They can report these cases to the ministry, and then they can also refer to the police, so that we know that the perpetrators behind this whole thing can be taken into account. Otherwise, we are not resting at our laurels as a ministry. We are trying by all means to assist members of the public. That's why then we are piloting this bill.
I am just curious, Director. This process started in the year 2022. It's 2024 now. Does it always take this long for a bill to be passed into an act?
Well, for us as the Ministry of Housing, we wish like the bill would have been here already. But as other processes have to ensure, you find that then there are some delays there and there. But we are hopeful that by the end of this financial year, probably there'll be something positive, because once we get the final draft from the Attorney General's office, we are sure that we're just going to take it to Cabinet. Once it's approved, then it will be piloted in Parliament. So for us, this is a very important task, because as a ministry, ours mainly is about the policy and legislative framework. So this is one of what we're all about as a ministry, that we have to make sure that the pieces of legislation that we have to use as a country are in place. So it is a very important exercise to the ministry.
It's been a pleasure having you on the show, Director. We hope that the next time we meet, in a year or so, we hope it will be a short time, you will be telling us that the bill has been passed into a law so that the real estate industry can be regulated.
All right, so that was the Director of Housing and Human Settlement, Temba Matsibula, giving a few clarifications on the Real Estate Agents Bill of 2023. After the break, we connect with Sanel Lesbia for today's financial markets. Stay with us.